Yeah, I forgot about that one. All right, I think we're almost ready. Let's see. All right. So, what's happening, family? You know, it'd be me, Mr. Fat Tatular. For those that don't know, Fat Tatular show. Just a quick heads up, and want to jump in there and make sure everybody's aware of what's happening soon. Of course, you know, we got the show coming up. It's come back out, you know, and trying to make a lot of people laugh with some of the things that people are going on with every day now. So we're gonna bring back some laughter and try to enlighten some people's lives all over again. And, I figured I'll jump in there real quick and just talk a little bit to my peoples. Just looking for something here. Normally I got everything already set up, but I kind of forgot today. Yeah, I forgot my stuff. That's what happens when you're not prepared. But anyway, hopefully everybody's doing well, and things are going accordingly for a lot of people. And if it's not, well, all I got to say, it sucks to be you. No, seriously. Hopefully everything is going well. You know, everything is in the direction that you want it to be and functioning the way you want it to be. And if it's not, well, the best I can say is try to figure out another way to do it. But sometimes life will get the best of you and it really, really knock you into a direction you're not ready for. So with that being said, welcome everybody to the show. For those that don't know, my show is specifically about bringing humor with your reaction videos. And I talk about things that are freaking hilarious during the reaction show or the reaction video. 99% of the time, I don't watch the video. I like to give true thought behind it or as a real reaction behind it. So that's why I don't watch the video before anybody else does. I tend to watch it right when we're watching it together. So that's why I do it. And I like doing it better that way. It tends to be a little bit more fun. So with that being said, just understand that you're gonna. With that being said, just understand. You're going to hear a lot of conversation, maybe not, but we're going to see what happens. So the reason why I have this, first and foremost, you're going to see top to bottom's signature ambiance up on the screen, because of course it's something that I make. Okay, I am the candle connoisseur, so I make sure all the aromas in some of the products be on point. For those that don't know, top to bottom is a skin and hair and accessory product line. And for those that don't know about top to bottom, just go over TOP number 2 BOTTU for unique m.com and check it out. Brother Ron, blessings, Brother Ron. Good to see you. I'm glad you made it up to your destination safely. And I had to clown you a little bit there. You was teaching them people up in Ohio how to fish for birds. Hopefully they'll catch some more birds than the little tiny fish you're catching. It's always a pleasure to see you. Hopefully everything is going well. I didn't like the fact I didn't get to see you singing. I know you got a little singing in you, so you got to get up on that karaoke mic next time, so I can see exactly what skills you got with your singing. And I know everybody else was laughing, but I want to see what you got, right? So hopefully everything is well, and of course, please, when you're on your way back, have a safe journey back home. We want to see you on the show next time, of course. And for those who don't know, Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter is a brother from another mother. And Ron, of course, and we do a lot of collaborations together. We do a lot of other shows, and we talk about other shows, and we just have a lot of fun, he and I. Ron is your guy that if you want to learn about broke man investing, you go over to Ron's channel, from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter, and listen to his Broke Man Investments. I have taken a lot of his advice, and my portfolio has looked a whole lot better since I started on my own. So for those that are into investing, the inexpensive way and the least trouble way, follow my brother Ron's Opinion Don't Matter channel when he talks about investments. It definitely would enhance your finances. And you have to understand that his way of doing it is not the get rich quick way. His form of investing is slow and steady. Slow and steady means that this way, by the time he retires, he's got a nice looking nest of eggs that he is invested in. And one of his statements, if I can remember, I'm going to try to quote him. He says that if you're buying it, you're spending money on it, you might as well find a way to buy the stock of that product that you keep buying. For example, your gasoline. If you're buying Exxon gasoline all the time, buy some stock into Exxon. This way, when it comes time to pay you back, you're not really paying for that gasoline, especially now the gasoline prices are starting to go back up again. They were creeping down, but now they're going back up again. This is, it's quite disturbing how fast it has decided to go back up. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. So yeah, please like and follow, of course. Hit the share button, of course. This channel specifically is about reaction videos, and the only reason why I'm showing everybody the signature ambiance is because, of course, this is an item that I make for top to bottom, including the candles and things that rather items or products that have a specific aroma. I'm the I want to say the approver behind it, because if I can smell it, it smells right. It's mixed right. It has its correct ingredients, and of course, certified to make sure it's IFRA compliant, VOC compliant. For those that are concerned about toxins and all that good stuff, rest assured that my nose and my technique is to keep everybody safe. So as I sit here, I'm putting together a new batch for another client that has requested some signature ambiance. And of course, there's a poll as the folks come in and out. Check out the poll. The poll is based off, because I spoke to a young lady today that had that little tree in her car. She had that tree, the one that a lot of people tend to buy after they wind up washing their car. They spend anywhere between $4 to $8, unless you go to a Dollar General store or a dollar store and you get it maybe for $2. But that little tree, I remember back in the day, it used to cost 25 cents. So that just goes to prove how old I am. It used to cost 25 cents for that tree, and of course, I used to buy a whole bunch of them. But of course, as we get older, things get older, they tend to become more and more expensive. So as we take a look now, I asked the young lady, I said, how do you feel about that and how long it lasts? She turned around, she says, well, I buy them every now and then, especially when I wash my car because I want my car to smell good. I said, how long does it last? She says, oh, it doesn't last long. Then she turns around and says, I went and I bought that little plug-in that you clip onto the dashboard at the vent. I said, so you're spending anywhere between, I'm going to say between $10 and $15 for both of those items. She said, yeah, something like that. I said, all right, well, look, I'm going to introduce you to something to make you a little bit better. And of course, I had shown her one of the items, one of the signature ambiances, or AKA air fresheners. Now, again, these air fresheners, the greatest thing about them is that most people don't realize you can hang it anywhere. I strongly suggest that you put it in your bathroom, especially if you have a guest bathroom, because sometimes a lot of guests go in the bathroom to relieve themselves in ways that you're not ready for, and you don't want to embarrass them because they done left it funky, or you have that guest bathroom that's right next to the kitchen, which I don't understand why anybody would want that. But there are a lot of folks out there that have it. So, I was told by the Queen of Queens, the creator, the formulator behind Top to Bottom, that I should make something for the people who want something simple to give them a nice aroma, either at their cubicle, at their office, at their desk, because they have a small office. Because some of you have a small office. I mean, your class desk was a whole lot bigger than some of your offices. But that's no here nor there. I'm just making a statement. So she said, the Queen of Queens, she said to me, she said, babe, you got to figure out something to give the people here. And I said, sure. Hello, Crystal. Welcome. Make sure you hit that like button, please. It'd be very, very appreciated as I continue on with my journey to keep everybody happy on Sunday. And by the way, Sundays is going to be the day that the reaction videos will be aired until further notice. Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time would be the time to come over to my channel, the Fat Tat to the Show, to catch a reaction. I do reaction videos on anything and everything. And of course, I never find humor in what the person is going through. I find humor in the actions of the person. So whether it's somebody being arrested because they're drunk, or someone being arrested because they done stole something like shoplifting, or they were speeding, or they're getting kicked out of their house, or they were just having a plethora of issues. It's always funny watching somebody else is going through something, and I love catching the points of embarrassment, and I laugh about it, how we tend not to see these things, but when we see them, we kind of make it funny. So this coming Sunday, I have a great show coming up about literally reading and how society has deemed the specific classification of people to be smarter. And I'm about to show the world that they ain't so smart. So come on through Sunday, this coming Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to the Fat Tat Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you get that alert, so you can actually see what's going to happen. And let's have some laughs about it. Now, going back to the young lady with the signature ambiance, she had told me she spends about that much money. And I said to her, I'm going to introduce you to something where instead of you spending $20 every 2 weeks or every week, I'm going to show you how to save yourself $20 and get some real enjoyment. So I introduced her to the signature ambiance. All right, maybe y'all can see that. I'll bring it a little closer. Let me see that. Right there. Okay, so now, if it's hanging from your mirror, it's going to do this all the time. If it's hanging from your bathroom, it's going to do this all the time. If it's sitting at your cubicle, it's just going to do this. But here's the great thing about the cubicle. Usually at a cubicle, you have air. The air vent is above your head, so it's hitting down on top of you, or somewhere nearby that's going to hit down on top of you. And being that this is a diffuser style, you don't have to keep pouring it or tipping it over as in such. You don't have to keep doing like this to get it going. Once the diffuser top, let me point it this way. Once the diffuser top gets soaked with the fragrance, until that diffuser dries out, that aroma is going to stay inside that area. Now, I have already tested it to be up to 10 feet of distance, meaning you're standing 10 feet from it, you'll be able to smell it. And of course, if you have it inside the car, it's going to be in the car all the time. And as you have it in the car, you're going to go into what some other people have said, serenity, because that aroma just makes you relax and you just want to sit in your car and just chill, regardless of what's going on, your bad day. So, you have to be prepared for that. You may have to take a longer lunch break if you're sitting in your car, because you may drift off to serenity and enjoy your life a little bit more for that day, not stressful. So what tends to happen is on the website, there, as you see, $9.99, several different fragrances. Right now, there's approximately, I believe, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. It's making 9 because one of them I'm going to remove, only because it seems to be a little troublesome to maintain as far as the aroma, and that's only because it takes a lot more fragrance, and instead of charging more to, of course, the people and the clients and all that stuff, I found it better to just sell it to those who really want it and they understand why it's light, because it's a very light aroma, and many people don't deal well with light aromas. They want to smell it. So there's only one of them that may be special ordered. But other than that, as I spoke to the young lady, she turned around and she smelled a few of the fragrances that I had with me at the time. And she said, well, I want about 8 of them. I said, okay. So as I sit here right now, I have to put 8 of them together and take them down to the young lady. And of course, try to understand that these on the website, as you see, they're $10. So you ask yourself, wow, this thing is, I don't see why everybody's going bananas over this. It's strictly makes you really, really want to eat bananas and drink them. What the pina coladas. That's what it's, that's what it's gearing up to. But yeah, that's a squirrel moment, only because I amaze myself sometimes with what I've done. So basically, what happens is that these signature ambiance, aka fragrance air fresheners, they last up to 30 days. And the reason why it's up to 30 days is because other people have used it a lot more frequently, and they found that it still lasted more than 2.5 weeks. And other people have used it very wisely, and it has lasted up to 30 days, a whole full month. So with the times now, we have to understand that your life now does not revolve around someone else getting rich. Your life revolves around how you can be happy and support support what you want and what you need, and without, aka, breaking the bank. So hopefully you guys understand why this has been made. For those that like to have your cars clean, smell good all the time, it tends to help. Especially now, there's one, I remember back in the day, this is kind of interesting. Back in the day, people would go crazy over this one that was called leather, or aka new car smell. And what was funny is the new car smell, you couldn't really find it in an air freshener. So one company made it, but they didn't do too well with it because a lot of people didn't want that new car smell because it just didn't smell the same. But the leather, on the other hand, the leather was a big seller back in the day. So what tends to happen is I've created a leather aroma as well to fit those that like leather, because sometimes you have a car that has cloth interior, but you want it to smell like leather. Hey, I got you covered, because I wanted to make sure that you had what you was looking for. So as time went on, this is what we did. This is what I did. I brought that out. So I'm going to sit here and put these together. But as I'm putting these together, I'm going to talk about my show, the Fattatula Show, and why it was created and what benefits you to join, subscribe, follow, share my channel. The most important benefit is that if you want to laugh, you're having a stressful week, you come over to my show every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 more. Eastern Standard Time. You get to have some laughs. So if your family is really stressing you out, 2 p.m. Sunday. So right after church and right before church. So this way you go to church, you're in a good mood. You come back from church, from hearing Sister Seeley tell her story for the 18th time, the same story. You can actually sit back at home and enjoy the show while I show you, and we sit together and watch a video and just have some laughs about the video that we're watching. Because we got to find humor all the time in what we do. So with that being said, please understand you got to follow following people. You know, these people that I mentioned, these content creators, we became a family through YouTube, and we grew a bond with each other. We've done a lot of collaborations together. We support each other's channels. We find every way to keep the ball rolling. And if it takes off to create together, then we'll do it. Right. So, of course, as I mentioned, Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter, follow his channel. My little nephew Out the Pit from Out the Pit Podcast, follow his channel. Got a lot of great content. Queen Sackcloth, little niece, follow her content. She does, let me give you a little insight about her. She has a wonderful niche of exercising videos. So if you're into trying to stay fit, unlike myself and some other people that are just fat, we like to be fat. We don't need to exercise because, hey, we're just lazy like that, I guess. But she does a lot of workout videos. She has a bunch of things that she does besides her workout videos. Her garden, she goes to the garden, which is great. And she has a lot of information that she likes to share with everybody as well. And of course, she's a person you want to follow. Out the Pit Podcast. He has several shows, several ideas that he comes across. He's a great guy, young, and of course, a plethora of items that he can actually share with everybody. And I ask everybody to swing on through to see exactly what he shares with everybody. You'd be surprised on how much you like the shows that he tends to put together. And like I mentioned, we are all a YouTube family. So we support each other with what we do, what we build. Some of us have different kind of ideas of shows, but we all support each other on our shows because, of course, at the end of the day, it's about us coming together because what we see may entice someone else to visit the channel and like what they're seeing and become part of that subscribers list. So don't forget, on my side, Fattatula Show, you like to watch some reaction videos with me and have some laughs and have some good time. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that all button so that you get every notion of what is coming up with the Fattatula Show. And understand that the Fattatula Show, again, does not at any time try to insult anybody. We just find humor in everything we do. Well, every show we do is all about humor. So no one gets offended. No one gets their feelings hurt. And if your feelings get hurt, then guess what? Basically, you should not be on social media because social media is all about hurting feelings. One way or another, you're getting your feelings hurt. Because I've done enough reaction videos where the person being arrested or the person being evicted from their home says, how can you do this to me? Well, basically because you don't pay your bills or you're driving drunk. So you don't care about anybody else, so why should we care? That's pretty much the bottom line. Recently, just a quick side note, recently I did a video and I had someone ask me about this government tyranny thing that I was speaking of. And I explained to them, I said, well, as I was introduced to the government tyranny by Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter, is where it got even heavier. And it became heavier when we started putting two and two together, and we started realizing that government tyranny is a real thing. And that comes back to our show between Ron's opinion don't matter, and the Fat Thatcher show. We tend to do a collaboration show on Fridays. Matter of fact, tonight's going to be canceled due to vacation time by other people. So, of course, other people have lives too, and they want to enjoy themselves. So they're out having a good old time, and I want to make sure they're safe so that they don't have to rush back to come on the show and do a collaboration just for a couple of hours. So it's best that they stay safe. So we spoke about government tyranny because what people don't realize is that you live in a state that has a law or an office building, rather, let me put it like that. An office building where you have elected officials that are supposed to protect your best interest because that's who you voted for to protect your best interests. And those individuals really only care about themselves. They don't care about what you are, who you are, what you're doing, and so forth. So they make it very difficult for you to continue your life as they take advantage of what you're doing. Dang it, I forgot to put that up. Yeah, I sure did, but that's all right. So what tends to happen is these folks that go into that office, they tend to do things the wrong way. Instead of protecting you, they protect themselves. Very simply put, as far as Firearm Fridays, which is the collaboration between Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter and myself, we don't only talk about guns. We talk about the laws behind it and how it protects you. And how government tyranny fell into play is government tyranny is about how the government is not supposed to infringe on your rights. Yet they tend to infringe on your rights when they tell you what you can, what you cannot do. And many of you turn around and say this all the time, and it's kind of funny how many of you say this. Oh, I don't give a crap. Or they won't do that to me. Or what can I do about it? So those three statements right there, you have to understand why you're giving in. You're giving in, but yet you're voting for a specific person, whether it's because of their color, of their skin, or the lie, or the, as I call it, the smoking cloud that they gave you. And you felt the need to believe them, and you ran with it. They are the ones that are telling you what to do, when to do, how to do, and so forth. And I always ask this question: would you allow me to come into your house, your apartment, your home, put my feet on the couch, up on the table, or the coffee table, or the kitchen table, scratch the bottom of my feet, and let you just look at me and don't say a word? Most of you have turned around and said, Jay, you crazy. I turned around and I said, so why are you letting the government do it? And they turned around and said, well, I got no choice. I said, well, you do have a choice. You always had a choice. The choice was not to let them do it. So, of course, we went back and forth with that one, and they kind of understood why I said what I said. So, with that being said, that's what government tyranny is all about. It's about a group of people who are with the government that are telling you what you can and what you cannot do. And they're stopping you by violating your rights. So when you come over to the Firearm Friday show, of course, you got to subscribe to my channel so you know exactly when it's coming on. Friday, 7 p.m. Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Firearm Fridays, which is a collaboration between myself and Brother Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. And we talk about all these things. But back to my show. This is what it's all about. Really here, and that's what it's all about. So here on the Fat Thatcher show, I tend to, as I mentioned, do reaction videos. And one video I did recently about some police officers beating up on people. People thought I was crazy for doing that. And they looked at me wrong. They said, you should not be talking about that. I said, I got to, because I know both sides of that fence very, very well. And the worst thing is that what a lot of people don't realize, here, let me take this down here because we don't need to head up there. No, if you want to know about toptobottom.com, just follow my channel, follow the links. The links will take you over there. to the store. It's top to bottom. That's TOP2 BOTTU for unique M.com. Go over there, buy your body wash. Listen, you don't have to believe me. Just go into the top to bottom YouTube channel and listen to the people who are actually the clients that are part of the top to bottom family. Listen to what they say. Listen to what they say about the products. Just watch what happens. There's videos of people using the product and certain things happening while they're using the product. So it's beneficial for those that always believe in, well, if I don't know about it, I don't trust it. Or if I don't know somebody who is a real person, not somebody who's paid. 99.999% of the people that are on testimonials and videos and reviews for a top to bottom product are not paid customers, advocates, or anything of the sort. There are genuinely customers who are 100% content with the product. So go check them out. If you don't believe me, go check out the website. Go check out the YouTube page. You'll be able to see the people actually speak of the product from top to bottom. And again, the name is toptobottom.com, which is TOP2 BOTTU. The U stands for unique M.com. And you got to put a U in there, because if you don't put a U, you're going to get something that's not supposed to be there, which is a company of cleaning. So that's up to you. Now, again, I'm going to take this down because we don't need it. And okay, so as I was mentioning before, on the Fat Thatcher show, what I tend to do, and why didn't it, wait a minute, let me see something. I was supposed to get this a specific way. Okay. All right. So on the Fat Thatcher show, I always tend to find humor. And my comeback video was about police officers beating up on people, and a lot of some comments came under a different channel or directly to me, saying that I was wrong for putting blast on the police department. And what I tried to explain to folks, and I'll do it again, is what you got to remember is that the police department is a department that's ran by the mayor of the city. The mayor is in a building that's called a governmental building, which of course comes back to government tyranny. So if you're voting these people in to protect you, which is what they're supposed to do, because they take an oath to protect and serve, and literally, if they don't protect you, how can they serve you? It's real simple. So I always ask everybody that comes at me and says, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. I said, okay, well, then let me come into your house and do what I want to do. And of course, they always come with that answer. Oh, you got to be crazy. Well, but you're letting the police do it. I mean, it's been happening for many, many decades. Okay, I've known. What's this? 1977. Not actually, no, since 1976. I've been knowing that the police department has been a tool to force people into doing something that they don't want. So that just goes back to how long I've been knowing that it's happening. And recently, as I said, and I got to admit, for many years I was wrong, for many decades I was wrong, until Brother Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter shown me and explained to me what he meant about the government tyranny. And, fortunately, I, as they say, had to choose the right side. And I was disgusted with the video, with what I seen. And I emphasized the fact that if the state of New York, or let me put it like this, any state that violates your constitutional right to bear arms, that's the state where you need to leave immediately, expeditiously. Because what you fail to understand is that your right to bear arms is the Second Amendment and the 14th Amendment. So between those two amendments, that's what you're supposed to protect yourself with. And if you don't know what they are, I'm not going to sit here and try to explain it to you again. Matter of fact, like and follow the channel so you can be notified of Firearm Fridays, and then you can hear when we talk about it. and understand why we emphasize on it. Right? Some people in the past have turned around and said, Jay, you have this thing about putting people to sleep. And I sit back and I say, well, that's a good thing then, because that just means that I'm not boring. I'm just more healthy. I'm healthy in your life because I'm putting you to sleep versus boring, because you needed that sleep. So I relaxed you. So that's why sometimes I'm hesitant to do lives and just talk, because, of course, all the subscribers and all the watchers and everybody in the chat room tends to fall asleep, which I don't mind. It's pretty cool. To me, it's cool. It shows me that you are listening, and your soul, like I always say, if I can talk to your soul and your soul is listening, then your soul's going to calm down and it's going to thank me later. So allow it to thank me later. If you fell asleep, you'll thank me later, because you probably got your best sleep ever in the hot minute. So as I sit here creating more air fresheners for your car, for your home, what I call signature ambiance, I'm going to talk about what transpired at the video with the police officers beating up on these two guys, and how, again, the day of reckoning is upon you people from New York, because, of course, the 90-day review is almost here. So I want to keep my fingers crossed. I really do. That all these people that came out to shout and scream in front of the camera, and this is why it bothers me. Let me give you a little insight. If you're an activist for the people, I better see your face on screen. That means in front of the news cameras on the 19th of July, which is pretty much in a couple of days, in a few days, on the streets in front of the mayor's building, city hall, whatever building you want to stand in front of, and you better be screaming to the top of your lungs for every incident that I spoke about. Body cam footage from them police officers gets presented. Because I could tell you right stinking now, the Florida sheriffs, there's two separate Florida sheriff departments in Florida, that as soon as one of their deputies get into a situation, that body cam footage is being presented 72 hours later. So I don't understand how is it. Well, I do understand. Let me rephrase that. I do know why they're doing it. And I'm going to tell you why. New York City wants to hide what they do. They want to make sure the police officer or the department doesn't get in trouble for the actions of another police officer. So the police department, the department, wants to remove themselves from the attention or the disgrace of an officer's actions. That's the reason why they say, it takes up to 90 days to do a full investigation. That's a lie. It literally takes 72 hours to do a full investigation. I know. I've been there. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I can tell you that for a fact. A body cam at the end of the shift, when that police officer goes back to the police station to sign out, puts that camera inside a little machine. That little machine records everything from that camera. It gets uploaded within 24 hours. So then 48 hours, if someone really wants to know exactly what happened, they pull that footage and they watch it over and over and over again, just like a video, just like my videos. Matter of fact, I put videos up today, and by tomorrow night, you're able to watch the video. So ask yourself these questions, and I refer to the people that are in New York. Ask yourself this question. You have advocates standing out there. Like, for example, the one that I really didn't like when I saw her, I found it to be very, very disturbing, was Eric Gardner's mother. Eric Gardner, of course, I won't speak of what happened to him, but many of you know what happened to Eric Gardner in New York. For his mother to be out there screaming and hollering with another fool, and I call him a fool because, again, you're not out there every day protecting the people. You're only out there once in a while, or you're only out there when the cameras are on. So you want spotlight. You're not an advocate. You're an actor because you want spotlight. You want spotlight. You want camera. You're looking for attention that way. But where you at? Because if it doesn't get reported, doesn't mean it's not happening. And that's where a lot of you in New York and New Jersey, I'm putting New Jersey in there, want to hide and say, I'm here for the people. Then no. You guys, I know you guys have seen my videos on video reactions on what was his name? The mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Ras Baraka. You guys see me do a reaction video on him, his actions, and how he was arrested in front of the correctional facility in Newark, New Jersey. And of course, he tried to make it seem that it was something bad. How do you make something? It's almost like that joke. How do you discover something that people are already living on? How do you discover a place where people are living? Just because you don't know their language doesn't mean that you discovered it. It just means that you trespassed, which comes back to government tyranny and the right to bear arms. You trespass on somebody's land and they didn't invite you. They have total right to knock you out the box, put you in the ground, make you fertilizer. So it's the same thing with the government tyranny, which of course comes back to the police department and all that other stuff. The reason why I'm talking about it is because these people came out of the woodwork just to talk about it. And they heard news media was out there, so they wanted to stand in front of the cameras and say, yeah, I'm here for the people. I want to protect the people's rights and all this other stuff. But where are you 363 days out of the year? You only came out this one time. So in my book, you're a liar. I don't believe anything you're doing for the people, because you're really not. Because if it took you 300 plus days to come out and fight for the people, then you definitely not a people person, and you definitely not a voice for the people. Because a voice for the people should be out there every single day. Because again, you're an elected official. As an elected official, you're supposed to be fighting every single day. That's why the people voted for you. That's why the people said you are going to be the representative for me. So even on Firearm Fridays, when we do our talks and the collabs, we tend to talk about that because we want the people to understand what it's all about. And you really got to understand why we talk like that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know what we're talking about, you kind of lose out. You kind of get lost in the sauce and you become useless in some way or form. So, you know, it's something that you really got to think about when you trying to fight for the people. Fighting for the people is supposed to be every day, including weekends. It's not supposed to be once something happens. The happening is every day. The happening is every hour of the day. The happening is every moment of the day. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. New York, New Jersey, tri-state area, something's always happening. Always. So you got to figure out for yourself whether you want to be a representative and be part of the problem, or you want to be a representative to be the solution to the problem. So many of you keep being the solution. I mean, many of you in New York and New Jersey and tri-state area keep being part of the problem versus the solution. So, you know, it's a bad thing when I got to see videos of people being abused and assaulted by the NYPD. It's really messed up. So not to drown out today's session of that magnitude, it's more about bringing happiness. So the happiness, of course, like follow the channel. Understand that on this channel, the Fat Toddler Show, it's returning by several requests by several people to come back and start doing the reaction videos. And it will be happening every Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they're going to range. They're going to be from everything you could think of, anything you could think of. And of course, for those that don't know about the channel, just like and subscribe to the channel so you can get an understanding what the channel is all about. And be part of the fun, you know, because at the end of the day, and how they say, in order to be, you got to surround, first of all, you got to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. So if you're into business, you surround yourself with people who are business-minded. Like if you're into buffoonery, you surround yourself with people with buffoonery. And many of you will probably turn around and say, I don't know what I'm talking about, but just ask yourself this one question. And especially for those that have been around cold temperatures, you'll understand this one a little bit better. You ever notice that when it's wintertime and people are smoking cigarettes, you see one person run outside, take 3 or 4 tokes, and then pass it to another person, and that person take 3 or 4 tokes and pass it to another person? Those people are what I would call birds of the feather that flock together. Those are like-minded people. And the reason why they do that is because they're all smokers, so they all tend to be together. It's just like addicts, alcoholics. That's an addict. They all hang around each other because they're going to get what they want. Now, I'm not knocking those that are horticulturalists. That's why I said horticulturalists. I know a lot of horticulturalists out there. Unfortunately, a lot of the horticulturalists that I know are dealing with stuff they ain't supposed to be dealing with because it's fake. And what I mean by fake is not it's grown where somebody's dog and cat and ferret and rat and neighbor's cat and dropping their feces and all that other stuff inside that plant, whereas opposed to some place that someone grows it correctly, make sure no animals are in it. So I always laugh about that. They all hang together too. I got no qualms about that. Matter of fact, one of my favorite collaborators is Ant Like the Bug. Ant Like the Bug is a brother who, of course, has this, look, if he's sitting on the toilet, this is, I got to give credit to this brother. If he's sitting on the toilet doing the number 2, he's live. He's on his channel live while he's doing the number 2 because he believes everything is content. I draw the line in certain things. So, and I say that because there's been a plethora of times where we're in the middle of a collaboration and he'll walk over and walk right into the bathroom and he'll put his phone down and we're all looking up while he's standing looking down. So hey, we can't be dealing with that. But again, it's a funny moment. And listen, that's his thing. Ant Like the Bug, a beautiful person. He understands what life is about, and he has a plethora of items that he talks about as well. So again, the YouTube family is growing. It's part of what Ron from Ron's Opinion would say, the OG network, because he has his channel, Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. He's creating an umbrella and he's calling it the OG network. Now, of course, everybody's part of it. Well, I'm saying not everybody. A lot of people are part of it. Before I forget about Bam Bam the God. That's his channel. Bam Bam the God. Bam Bam's a young brother. Very, very influential. He's part of a more close-knit, actually part of a close-knit family of Out the Pit, from Out the Pit podcast. They are actually family members. And Bam the God is growing his channel slowly, but it's growing. And of course, just as I said, Ant Like the Bug, my queen of queen, top to bottom, of course. Subscribe to her channel so you can actually see her creating the items as well as formulating the items. My channel, of course, is you may feel that I'm a little bit soft-spoken, quiet now. Get me on a Sunday during the show, it's the complete opposite. Get me on Friday when I'm doing the collaboration, it's completely opposite. Today is just a quiet day, trying to relax from a whole lot of stuff that's been going on. It's kind of funny. I was watching a video of another brother. I almost forgot about this brother. Brother, I apologize for not mentioning you. Snake Man Pit, I believe is what it is. Snake Man the Pit, Snake Pit, Snake Man Pit, Snake Pit, somewhere or another like that. He's on my channel. It's another brother has a plethora of items. He loves snakes. If I actually asked him one time, I think he has, if I remember correctly, 16 snakes. And I said to him, I said, listen, you better than me because I can't, I'm not afraid of animals like that, yet I would prefer to have snakes and alligators and crocodiles on my feet. So, that's where we draw the line at when it comes to those animals. But he's a wonderful guy. He has a plethora of items on his channel. He's very, very comical. Check him out as well. And the only reason why I speak of them is because these are people who we have collabed in one way or form or another. And, collaboration is what builds trust between people and moving forward for whatever you want to do. So if, like, for myself, I've had the Fatata channel now for quite some time, and I was quite successful, and I stepped back for a little bit due to the fact that the Queen of Queens needed my attention more. And of course, we all know that when you have a queen or you have a king, you have to be there for their support much more than society's support. So I stepped back for a little bit, and after some heavy talks and several requests for me to return, I decided to return with the reaction videos. And yes, the reaction videos will be, as I mentioned, Sundays, every Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. And watch out, of course, you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, hit the all button. So when I put up the information, you get the notification that it's going to happen. And I'm just going to recap real quick. This coming Sunday's show, I believe is going to me, I watched a couple of clips of what I put together, and I was laughing. The reason why I'm laughing, because, of course, just to give you a quick insight, people of age, let me put it like that, people of my age, 60, 50, 60 and above, right? Well, I'm put like this, 55 and above, right? We have to rely on certain people as we get older because our memories tend to get jacked up. Yet, unfortunately, what I'm going to show you on Sunday, if you're 55 and over, you're going to love going back to that pencil and paper. I'm telling you right stinking now. You're going to go back to that pencil and paper like it was gold. So I'm going to tell you now, go to your local dollar store, get yourself that black book, the black notebook that we used to, composition book that we used to use back in the day, and a bunch of pencils and an eraser and the sharpener. Don't forget the sharpener, because you do like me with the razor blade. That just goes to prove how old I am. You might cut your finger. So you be ready, because we're going to take a whole lot of notes, and it's going to be funny. So bring your popcorn, bring your special drink, whatever it may be. And we're going to sit back. And of course, I'm going to open a panel to the Queen of Queens. The Queen of Queens is going to be here with me this coming Sunday. And we're going to do the reaction videos together. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. And we may just turn around and have another special guest pop up. I'm always willing to have the panel open for people to come in and have some fun, and get a different view on what someone else. It's not all about me, it's all about us, and I try to say that all the time. We have fun, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna do a whole lot of stuff. Yes, Crystal, top to bottom matching. Yes, I see that. I didn't put my glasses on, but I can see what you're writing. And Crystal, I love you like a sister, even as we haven't physically met. But I love you as a sister. Understand that I'm in your corner. I'm in your corner. Trust and believe I'm in your corner. And shalom, shalom, of course. I'm in your corner. And, by the way, I got to mention this brother. This brother here. Oh, my gosh. There's the words express the love that I have for this brother. K. Judah from CUC. Man. This brother has a clothing line. Besides his clothing line, he has a way of preaching. Let me put it like that. And you got to understand something. Just because a person uses the term preaching, does not mean that they're a preacher or a person of cloth or a person that all they do is talk about book that is supposed to be for guidance. He speaks in a way that many do not understand why he speaks that way. Because sometimes you can be an old soul in a young body, and you can be a young body in an old soul. Or what was it? Young body in an old soul, and an old soul in a young body. That's it. Yeah. And what tends to happen is that this brother here, when he speaks, like the old saying goes, everybody listens for a reason. So big old shout out to K. Judah, that brother there. Again, another brother I haven't met in person, but we've had we've had very, minimal conversations. And with the minimal conversations, I can tell you he definitely touches a lot of people. So that's another brother I would ask that you follow his channel, the K Judah, K Judah CUC family. His clothing line, unbelievable. Okay. But with that being said, I've already put the order together for that new client. And it wasn't that much. You see, it wasn't that difficult to package them. But the formulating is where it gets tricky because, of course, I have to find that right aroma. I have to find that right potency to allow it to travel that 10 feet. Okay. Because you want to make sure as the consumer, the one who buys the item, you want to make sure you smell it, not only in your confined space, but in the space that you have. So I make sure that you can smell it when you're up to 10 feet away because I want you to enjoy it. And of course, candle season's coming up. So as candle season gets ready to be upon us, be prepared because I'm coming out with a bunch of new candles as well. And as I say to everybody, I guarantee my candles. No other company can guarantee their candles. So I guarantee the candles that are sold on toptobottom.com. So if you're into candles, you're into fragrances, I got you. As one guy told me many, many years ago, I got that ooh-wee. I got that ooh-wee for you. You want that smell good? I got that smell good. So if you want to smell good, your car, your house, your bathroom, your guest bathroom, your office space, your cubicle, any place that you got to be at, you want to have some type of serenity, check out toptobottom.com's signature ambiance. And the reason why it's called signature ambiance is because it's one of a kind. You can't find them nowhere. You're not going to find them anywhere unless you come to toptobottom.com. All right, let me rephrase that. Nope, I just forgot. There's one other person out there, if you're in Pennsylvania, that does have them. He gets them from me. So if you're in Pennsylvania and you meet this guy and he sells you a signature ambiance, I'm the one that's providing it for him. So you can get it from him, but it's coming from me, which is still cool. It's cool. No problem. And of course, I appreciate everyone stopping by. Yeah, nice questions. Yes. Thank you, Crystal. Yes, they are. And coming out, as I mentioned, the winter is soon upon many of us. So the new candles are coming out. They're getting ready to be prepared for the up and coming winter. And of course, the signature ambiances will stay year round because I believe once you use the signature ambiance, aka air freshener, in your car, you're going to use it in your cubicle, you're going to use it in your guest bathroom. And then, of course, it's going to be a year-round thing that you want it because there's times you don't want to light your candle. So the other thing is that 90% of the time, whatever you get as a signature ambiance air freshener, it's going to be a candle. So this also gives you an opportunity to realize that the fragrance will not get you sick. The fragrance would last a lot longer than you expect anything else to do. And you get a chance to find out why here at Top to Bottom, or that I'm part of Top to Bottom, make sure that you don't get sick when you use the product is because of the IFRA certification and this VOC compliance. And if you don't know by now, Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter, he has 2 cats. And of course, I have 2 dogs, and our pets are very nose sensitive. Their noses are much more, and their lungs are much more sensitive than ours. So if my dogs can be inside the vehicle with me and inside this little space that you see behind me comfortably, then it's safe to say that they're not getting sick. Ron from Ron's Opinion has 2 cats, and his cats are not getting sick at all. And Ron as well has various products from Top to Bottom. So if you don't understand what that's about, then unfortunately, you really don't know what it's like to find something of value. So with that being said, I'm going to get ready to jump out of here very shortly, probably in a minute or 2. And of course, I ask you all to like, subscribe, Share the channel. If you don't like it, listen, you could always share the channel. It doesn't hurt to share the button. It's that little arrow. Share it to somebody that might like it. And you might miss out on some of the fun, which is okay, because that's what usually tends to happen. You miss out the first time and you come back to it. That's why it's called binge watching. So, come back and you get to have some laughs with the channel. And if you don't know what it's all about, just go over to my past shows and check out some of the videos. The ones that are the most funniest, like, for example, the one I still haven't gotten any feedback from as far as what was inside the coffin. Okay. I did a reaction video of an eviction on a person. And like I said, I don't laugh or find humor in what's happening with the person. I find humor in what's going on around the person. And this person was being evicted from their home, and they kept saying that the check that was paying for the rent was coming from a grandmother. And unfortunately, they had a coffin in the driveway of the house. And I fixated on the coffin very quickly. And I said, well, now we know where grandma's at. Grandma is inside the coffin. Grandma's in the coffin because that's the only way. That's the only way they were able to still collect that money and cash out on that money. So if you want to have a good laugh, go check out the video of the coffin and the eviction with the coffin. I made a big stink about that. And of course, another funny one was a lawyer. Okay, a TikTok lawyer. Now, many of you know what this is all about. You got your Instagram lawyers, you got your TikTok lawyers, you got your YouTube lawyers. Even though YouTube is like a university, it teaches you more things than that universities can. And I did one on a TikTok lawyer that was arrested, and she peed on herself. Okay, and you also ask, why'd you pee on yourself? And she goes, I don't know what you're talking about. You could clearly see she peed on herself. But it's a whole lot of stuff in there that if you want to know what my channel is about, just go over to the like, subscribe, check out my past videos, and see exactly what's coming up. Because I tell you again, what's coming up is going to be very, 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 very funny. That it may even see, you got to understand something. Things that happen every single day to many of us, we don't see it as being funny because we're living it. Yet when you sit back and you relive it, and then you find the humor in it, and then you're like, well, damn, I've been quiet about this whole time. That's a problem. So as we get ready to do these reaction videos again, please, again, swing on by, like the channel, follow the channel, subscribe, share it. And if you don't follow now, you're gonna follow later on. That I can guarantee. So with that being said, I'm going to jump on out of here. I got other things to do. I thank you for taking this moment with me. Sister Crystal, again, big old shout out to you. I embrace you. I love the fact that you keep supporting the channel. And I look forward to always being there for you in your corner. If there's anything, let me phrase that. If there's something that you would like my assistance on, feel free to reach out. I got no problem with that. And I don't like when people say, oh, if anything, because I'll be the one like, okay, it's time for you to let me get that house that you got. I need to stop making some rental income. How about that? So, so somebody says anything, it's just that they're being facetious about it, which of course many of us do. I've done it in the past. And as usual, I caught myself. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, nieces and nephews, friends near and far, the Queen of Queens last when I say that. On the Fat Tatcha Show, the Fat Tatcha Show is coming back with the reaction videos. Yes, once again. And of course, I want you to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be aware of what I'm coming up with, what's coming down the pipeline. And every Sunday, 2 p.m. until further notice, reaction videos will be there Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Sunday. So that gives you a chance after you come out of church and before you go to church, because some of you go to church and they want to be in the whole day, which I still don't understand why it's the whole day. But hey, I'm not here to knock anybody's way of believing in something. So with that being said, again, big old shout out to Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter, to my Queen of Queens from toptobottom.com. Also, her channel is Top to Bottom Organics. Big old shout out to Crystal for being a lovely sister from afar. Brother K. Judah from CUC family. Little nephew Out the Pit from Out the Pit podcast. Little niece Queen Sackcloth. Big old shout out to her. Ant Like the Bug, another brother, as I mentioned before. Got to give a big old shout out to you. And of course, big old shout out to little nephew Bam Bam the God for coming back, doing some stuff. And hopefully I get to see you guys this coming Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for one of the biggest and funniest returns of the Fat Tatcha Show, bringing humor into your life. So with that being said, I'll see you when I see you, because you never tell anybody you love. Bye, because tomorrow's not promised. So with that being said, family, I love you, and I'll see you later.